tour. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're good. I hope you're okay. It's Tottenham on tour on one of the late nights, or should I say mid-evening to late evening, Toronto time, early morning UK time. So if you're in the UK watching, good morning to you. If you're in any part of the world, wherever you are, I hope you're good and well and had a great weekend. Going to be doing a few more late ones like this. Don't know how long they go on for. That depends on how many people are watching. I can see there's 6 of you in here already. Have a chat with you. If you're a member of the channel, the link to join me will be going in at about 9:15. I'll probably put the link in the chat at some point in the evening, but I thought just come and have a chat with you. I'm sure, I don't know if people have watched the video I released. What time would it have been? 1:30 Toronto time, 6:30 UK time. About the situation with Morgan Gibbs-White, how Forest have absolutely played us like fools, how Marinakis, who I thought would get done by Levy, literally done Levy. Morgan Gibbs-White, love the player, think he's a brilliant player, wanted him for years. Looks like he's played us for the bumper paycheck. It's what we've become, people. We've become the stocking horse. We've become the bargaining chip. We've become the middleman. And it's just perfectly fine to carry on like this, apparently. So, also did a massive spiel about the state of this football club under Daniel Levy. But, hey-ho, we go to Korea and Hong Kong with Matisse Tell as the only established first-team players bought. I'm not counting Tell and Danso, because that was last season business getting wrapped up. We go with Takai, and like last season when we only signed one first-team player, we go to Korea with just that. Remember, we're 17th. Remember, we're Europa League champions and in the Champions League. Remember, we're going to use this for a springboard for success. We want to win the Premier League and the Champions League. Right, yeah. So let me just say hello. There's 14 of you in here now. Like I said, if you have any questions, you want to have a chat. The South Korea tour, so let's remember we're going with only one recognised left back, and that is Ben Davies. Does that not scream Premier League, Champions League to you? I'm going to say it doesn't to me, but let me just say hello to Araman, big up from Chelsea, top Chelsea fan actually. Move on it from it, mate. I've moved on. I've moved on from it. I'm so done. Like I said, I'm still heartbroken about Morgan Gibbs-White that he's not come. I'm over it. And do you know what? Someone reached out to me. I don't know if he'll come in the chat this evening. Guy by the name of Richard Bird, fellow Canadian from Montreal. And he texted me and he said, Did you put any foolish bets on? As I've done some foolish bets in my time. I said, no, I haven't put any foolish bets on. I've just been made to feel foolish. And if that doesn't sum up what this football club does to you, then I don't know what will. Who else have we got in here? Musa Ali, big up, buddy. I haven't seen you for a few days in the shows. I hope you're good. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with this summer. But every bit of hope, every bit of, I actually think this takeover bid or investments coming, all that positivity that had, there was so much change going on, there just had to be something going on, gone, extinguished. Still delighted with Thomas Frank, still think he's going to do well, still think he improves what we've got, but he's already in trouble because we can see what's happening. Cole, a big up to you, buddy. I will say I'm kind of celebrating right now because of my UK roots, but I will be celebrating big time at midnight because it's the 28th of July back home, and that means I am 17 years sober. Still 16 years sober here. I've got 2 hours, 55 minutes till I'm 17 years sober here. So I'll have a very good day tomorrow. Big up to my fellow Brit in Canada, my fellow Scotland Yarder, Dave, and his beautiful wife, Pam. Yep, it is, buddy. I don't know what more can be said about it, buddy. But just to let you know, Toronto Spurs memberships open next week. And I'll see you at the yard very, very soon. Thank God. Hotspur State of Mind. I hope you are good, buddy. I hope you're well, channel member. Thanks for your support of the channel. Ethan, yeah, mate, do you know what, Ethan? I blame myself. Let me just get let me share my Twitter screen. Let's go to share screen. Do you know what? I told Scott, I can see Scott is in here, so Scott, big up to you, sir. The link will be, if you want to join me at some point, mate, I'll drop you the link. You can come on. Let me share my Twitter and just go through my tweets. And I'm going to take some personal blame for David Ornstein, because look what I did after the Luton game. Where is it? I did it somewhere. Where the hell have I done it? I literally tweeted David Ornstein and it's disappeared. Is it in my replies? Let's have a look. I did do it. I'm going to find it. I know I didn't delete it. Let's have a look. I'm trying to find it. I did it with a GIF. Oh, God knows where it's gone. Right. But let me come back to you and away from this screen. But I actually said after the Luton game, I tweeted David Ornstein. I said, David Ornstein, please, 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 on behalf of all Spurs fans, drop some Morgan Gibbs-White news as a matter of urgency. 2 hours later, he did just that. And it wasn't the news we wanted to hear. And I was at a barbecue for someone's birthday. And let's just say my mood went from happiness to outrage. And it took me a little while to calm down. It really did. Well, yeah, thank you very much, buddy. Thanks for watching the video, Brandon. I really appreciate it. Carly, I got your email, buddy. I'm sure it was your email. I got, it's not even, but we got the players we buy. The strategy is there's no strategy. The strategy is, I will say, I think Harvey Elliott's a good player. I really do think he's a good player. But once again, it's Tottenham going to buy players from a Premier League club that they're trying to get rid of because they're now surplus to requirements because of the quality they're bringing in. It's not like when we took Kudus and when we tried to get Morgan Gibbs-White, no, we're coming for your best player. It's back to let's get players that club deem aren't up to requirements anymore. It's just awful. I'm so frustrated with it, but I'm trying my best. I'm seriously trying my best to stay calm at the moment. Like I said, big up to you, Scott. Yeah, listen, you know what it is, Hotspur State of Mind. There is time for moves. Listen, Spurs fans, there is time for moves. There is no doubt. I think it's 5 weeks tomorrow the window shuts. I think it's 35 days. Is it on a Monday, transfer deadline day? Let's have a look. What day of the week? What? I'm about to get my calendar. What day of the week is 1st September? 1st September. Yeah, it's a Monday. So it's 4 weeks. Oh, no, 5 weeks tomorrow. We have 5 weeks of the window tomorrow, but the closer we get to the Premier League starting or the other league starting, the players we want to get, they've got to get replacements. There is time, but also, Hotspur State of Mind, we've got to get players out of this. We've got to get players out. If I had to say to you at the end of the season when we just won the Europa League, kudos and Takai, and we wouldn't have known Takai unless you were a fan that follows the J League or from that part of the world. And kudos. Players out would be Valise, who's gone back on loan because that was a great transfer. Dorrington on loan. Aloisi on loan. Josh Keeley for £1 million. And Ashley Phillips. So we brought £1 million in. And we are using this for a springboard I think everyone would have been like, no, surely not. But then you realise what happens, and we now get into the right. We need these. We need it to come in quick, and they've missed all the pre-season training, which is what it's normally used for, to bring in your good players, to bring in your better players. Scott, mate, I really did, Scott. No news was good news, and it's come in like an absolute. What can we say? What can we do? Lisa, darling, it's top four. It's not even a case. It's not even trying to succeed. It's trying to get by. We are so bad. We are so bad at buying and selling. It's unreal. And like I said in the video, Daniel Levy's gone from the living off the Hugo Lloris deal, where he got him in the changing room or in the training ground and he dropped the price because their contract went. He's gone from the Rafa van der Vaart deal, and he thinks he's the biggest, baddest bully in the playground. He thinks he's the biggest shark in the ocean. Well, now teams like Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest have his number and won't bow down to him and say, right, we're going to treat you like you treat other teams, and you don't like it, and we don't get the deals done. Jordan, big up, my friend. Big up, buddy. Catfish Productions, how are you doing, buddy? I hope you're good and well. Which midfielders would you reckon we need to sign now? We need both, mate. We need both. If you look at our midfield seriously, Bissouma and Bentancur contracts. Bentancur hasn't signed his contract, and we've heard for how long how long have we been hearing that his contract is going to be signed soon? Bergvall is obviously a prospect, a very, very big prospect. Pape Matar, who knows what he's going to do. Maddison, if he stays fit. Kulusevski's injured. Midfield needs seriously addressing. Yeah, listen, Lisa, there's a lot of people that are feeling, but you know what it is? I did that video, and there's a few people going, Brian, this Morgan Gibbs White deal isn't Levy's problem, isn't Levy's fault. And I said, I agree. But people haven't listened to the video properly, where I've said, listen, we got played. We put the bid in. It's come out that apparently we didn't do as much as we should have done. But we all thought, or I personally genuinely thought Levy would get this done. And seeing it went to off the field stuff, it would be no problem whatsoever. And I said, this is just another one where these kind of negotiations and breakdowns don't happen at any other club. Any other club. Literally, Marinakis has literally played Daniel Levy for an absolute sucker and made him look stupid. The club have just acted. But like I said, I don't think in the grand scheme of things, Tottenham have done much wrong here, but it's just another log on the fire of the bullshit production we have to deal with. Jordan, yeah, listen, do you know what? What I don't understand with what I don't get is why this hold up didn't stop Tottenham going for other players and signing them. If we'd started signing other players and doing other things, then maybe, just maybe, things wouldn't look as grim or people would be as angry as they are now. And it certainly shouldn't have stopped Tottenham selling people. That's for damn sure. Big up, Daniel, mate. I hope you're good and well, mate. Simon, what's good? How's Canada? I live in New York. I want to go on a little vacation. Come to Toronto, buddy. Come to Toronto is fantastic. I'm sure Scott M somewhere in the comments will comment about me and my vacations, and that I'm not a real permanent resident of Canada. Canada's beautiful. I must say, I haven't been out of Ontario, so it's such a big, big country. But if you're a Spurs fan, brother, and if you're ever in Canada and you come to Toronto during the season, get yourself to the Scotland Yard and Toronto Spurs, the greatest pub for Spurs outside of Spurs. And Bennett Gregg will be able to testify to that. He's come to the Scotland Yard. He lives in Florida. He came when we beat Notts Forest 3-1. Notts Forest, oh, bloody hell, of all teams. Not this season. The season before when Van der Ven scored that great goal. Hope to see you over here soon, Greg. Be great to see you. Jordan, what was that about sports memberships? Oh, no, that's for Toronto Spurs. That's for Toronto Spurs, Jordan. One of my friends, Davey, who's from Toronto Spurs, our memberships for the year. And when we say memberships, none of that money goes to Tottenham. It's £25 to become an official member of Toronto Spurs. You get discounts for the Scotland Yard, percentage off food, loads of prime seating, just a load of goodness. And it's just it's going to be $30 this year. But we do a lot of good stuff and raise a lot of money for a charity here, a football charity for underprivileged kids. So that's the memberships we are talking about. Don't we need another home? Yeah, we do. We do. Ethan, we're in such a mess, buddy. Such a mess. I don't know where we go. I don't know where we go from here. We need to bring in players. Let's see what you said. Seems like, listen, one thing I will say, if we get Ramsey was wanted last season. 2 words, club signing. Elliot would be great, but McAtee would be great. But do you know what's going on here? Once again, young talent. Young talent. Ramsey's established. It's young talent. And as I said, let's see if we can build for the team tomorrow whilst other teams build for the team today. It'd just be... I think McAtee's a great player. I actually love the player at Man City, O'Reilly. I think he's a fantastic talent as well. But it's all youngsters, isn't it, Ethan? It's all youngsters. Lubo is panicking after telling us on Friday we have time. Yeah, listen, I still think we have time in the transfer market, Jordan. I just can't see where we can get all this in. There's 5 weeks from the window left. We're in Asia, in Hong Kong and South Korea for a week. We come back in a week later. Then we've got the European Super Cup and the start of the season. All that pre-season training and getting used to Frank, getting to the fitness level of Frank, everything, once again, just done. Just done. And Man City away, and they'll be parading a shitload of talent. Let's just hope we have got some quality. And there could be time. Listen, there could be time. There could be the money coming. Who knows? But if I have to put money on... Do I trust Spurs to get the job done in 5 weeks? No. Do I hope they do? Yes. But we'll see. Chris, the Spurs are catfish. Yeah, we are. We are. Big up, Mola. Good things are coming. I wish they were, buddy. I wish they were. I hope they are. And you know what will probably happen? We'll probably get the investment 1 week after the window closes. And then it'll be we can't do anything in January because it's hard to buy players. And then we'll have to wait until the summer. It's all good. Yeah. Well, do you know what? Obviously, there was a nonsense rumour. I don't know if people have seen the rumour, and it's got to be bollocks. It's got to be bollocks. The Lille want Kinski on loan. Could you imagine? We sell Josh Keeley for goalkeepers, and then we would loan out Kinski. We would loan out Kinski to go out on loan. I mean, that would just be the most Spursy thing ever, wouldn't it? Barbaric all the way in England, brother. I hope you're good and well. You're up at 2:20 in the morning. Fair play to you, buddy. Fair play. We can't get players out. Well, shit. Honestly, people in the chat, there's 50 of you here. Please like if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't. We're on the road to 10K, which is going to be a huge milestone for us. And if we can get to 10,000 before the start of the season, that would be incredible. Yeah, we can't get players out. Apart from Harry Kane, what was the last player we got out for big money? For what we were classed as a big try. Carl Walker. Probably say Carl Walker. What was that? We're still at White Hart Lane. We're still at White Hart Lane, not this game-changing stadium that is going to make for changes. It's, what can we do? Big up, Jack. Yeah, exactly. Well, Paqueta is being heavily linked. Mainu, I think, is a good player. Mainu, I think, is a good player with a lot of potential, but again, there's that word again. But the last player you said, Morgan Rogers, I would take in an absolute goddamn heartbeat. An absolute heartbeat. I think he's a terrific player. Big up against David. Yup, Gareth Bale money wet, but it's just always wasted. It's always wasted. My dear friend, and co-host of To Frank or Not to Frank, Eugene. The link should be in the chat, mate. Oh, sorry, in the community section. If you want to come on and join, no pressure at all. I don't know how long I'll be going for. If you do want to come on and join me, the link is in the community post section. And for any other members, if you do want to join, Ethan, yeah, Rogers would be the one. I have to say, Brian, thank you very much, buddy. Do you know what? Yesterday when I heard that Morgan Gibbs White news, like I said, I was at a family birthday barbecue, and I was fuming. I started tweeting a few things, but I was getting more and more angry. So I started piecing things together about the football club, about Gibbs White, the way the transfers operated, the way it's just another what could have been story. And then I woke up about 4 this morning, like I always do around recently. And I was like, right, I've got to put this down on paper. And thankfully, for many people that have seen me go on rants, I will sometimes go on such a tangent that I kind of lose myself. And I was like, no, I'm not going to lose it. So I spent about 4 hours piecing them together, editing to make sure I didn't lose my train of thought. So to hear things like that, bro, it means a lot. So thank you very much indeed. If any other club was in our position, yeah, well, not just that. If any other club was in our position, mate, they would have gone full throttle. They'd have found out what the triggers that needed to be met to release to activate his release clause. They wouldn't have pissed around for 2 weeks. There would have been an ultimatum. There's no pressure. But I will say, like I said, I don't think Tottenham did much wrong in this. But could they have done more? Could Gibbs White have done more? Yes, but we've been played. And you know what? I will say there's been a few Forest fans that have come for me on Twitter, but some in a really bad way, some in a banter way, which has been all good. But there's been Forest fans in the comments to my rant. And like I said, I was only saying 100% confident because I've wanted him since his Wolves days. I have anyone that's watched me long enough will know how much I've loved that player. And do you know what? He may be dead to us or maybe getting a very large amount of booing when he comes to Spurs. He's a terrific footballer. But he won't be in a Spurs shirt now. Raider, big up, my man. It's painful seeing teams like Arsenal. The guy that I wanted before Solanke last summer, he's a machine. Well, you look at it, we played them in Korea. Gyökeres, Zubimendi, Kepa, whatever. They've got the defender they signed, and I think there's someone else. I don't know why, but they're going there. They finished second, and they're putting together the finishing pieces for what they are missing out on, and they were levels above us. And now we go into this game, and then we go to Newcastle, and then Bayern Munich, and then the European champions. And a game which I'm being serious, I actually thought we stood a chance of beating PSG because I thought it'd either be shattered or it won't be the full team that won the Champions League. Excuse me, I'm just taking a sip of water. But yeah, we'll have to see. But it is very, very frustrating, Raider. Jordan again in it. Yep, exactly. You're spot on. Yeah, no, I know Toronto well. I know Toronto very well. Oh, mate, listen. Why come to the yard, buddy? Come to the Scotland yard. We'll be there. Well, I'm there every single game. First game we'll be there for is the Super Cup, and then obviously Burnley. So if you're about, make sure you come to the yard. You'll be able to find me. I'm quite loud when we're in there and Spurs are playing. But, buddy, feel free. This is what I love. When people from Toronto or come into the yard, the first game of the season is actually 4 or 5 people from England I've never met come into the yard because they're here. So it's going to be a very, very good time. So, Wobbles, feel free to come, buddy. And if you like it, mate, become a member. Come join us. Be a part of the Toronto Spurs family. You won't regret it. Eugene, a member for 6 months. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for everything you do for the channel as well. It's always great having you on. Justin, big up to you. Dietrich, you want to come and join me? I'll come and join. 1 second, brother. 1 second. 1 second. Let me just go through the chat a bit, Dietrich. I'll send you away with it. Let me send you the link, Dietrich. And then if anyone that knows me and has got my WhatsApp details and wants to come on, send me a message and I'll drop the link. Let me just send it to Dietrich now. Okay, Dietrich, 1 second, and I'm going to send it to Eugene. Right, we might get a few guests on Eugene, and I'll send it to Scott M just in case he wants to come in. Eugene, send. I will be back with you, whoever's in the chat. Give me 2 seconds. Scott M. Scott M. There it goes. Okay, you've all got the links, lads. Right, where were we on the comments? Ramsey injury prone. You're right. You're right. But that's what we do, isn't it? That's what we do. Rig, big up to you. Grealish is going to drag on. It's going to drag on. Let's see if we've got any other ones. Not one chance. Not one bit. If they do, it'll be the biggest wow moment of all time. Probably since Klinsmann. Probably since Klinsmann, people. You just see in the background. Give me a couple of minutes, buddy. I'm just going to go through the chat. Let's just go through it. I'm trying to make sure I address people I haven't seen here. That'll be another first, won't it? We've gone from setting glorious firsts to embarrassing ones. Let's see who else is in here. I saw another members chat. Let me get to that in a second. Let's see. Beyond 72, big up to you. Yep. Next summer we roll out of the classic. We need to. Yep, of course. There we go. You know it's coming. You come. Ethan, no, build a team for tomorrow. This time, you're right. You're right. What's people's thoughts on Mainu? What are people? We'll discuss that with the lads when they come on. Scott M's become a member. Scott. Oh, look who's here. JC, brother. JC, long time geezer. How are you, brother? I hope you're good and well. They're all coming out now. My man Gary Speed. Yep, we are a fast. We are an absolute fast. We are a joke. Mate. We've seen it before. We've seen it before. Good morning from Melissa, Tony. I hope you're all good and well. Adrian is here. Big up to you. Ben has forgot to put the link in the members bit. Typical. Right. Okay, so let me bring in Eugene. Let me bring in Dietrich. Let me go to the bottom. Dietrich, I'll go Dietrich.
Hi, everyone. This is, first of all, my debut, so I'm happy.
Is this your debut on Tottenham on tour?
Yeah, it is, Brian. After, knowing you since 2021. Yeah, this is my first time.
Well, do you know what? It's like a Spurs transfer. You're like the Damiao. We finally got you on. Well,
like Madison. After years and years, I'm finally got me. So, yeah, so pick up everyone.
Exactly.
It's sad days as a Spurs fan, but it is what it is.
We do what we do. Eugene, how are you, my partner in crime to Frank or not to Frank?
I just figured I'll come on for a few minutes to share the joy, to spread and share the joy, just, to be a part of this momentous occasion. Hey, Ryan, when we had our first chat, what did I say? I said, I'm afraid, that this is going to be another manager who's going to be, taking the same path as the countless managers before him.
Yep.
And unfortunately, as of now, it seems like that's what's happening. So, yeah, not thrilled.
Well, do you know what? Dietrich, did you watch the friendlies?
To be honest with you, I did not watch the Wickham, but I watched the Reading and the Luton. Because Wickham was like 6 a.m., so I wasn't going to wake up early for that on a weekend.
Yeah, Eugene, you're 3 hours behind me, so I doubt you got up. I got up at stupid o'clock. You're not getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch the Arsenal game on Thursday?
I mean, I don't know if it's going to be on TV. Is it on Spurs Play or?
Yeah.
Spurs.
Yeah, I don't have Spurs Play. I'm sure I'll get the highlights when they destroy us.
Yeah, just to add on the Spurs Play, it's arguably one of the worst platforms I ever watched in my life. It always lags, it never works, and you spend stupid amount of money to watch one of the worst games in your life.
Do you think I'm already paying for 5 or like 4 streaming services to watch Spurs? So I don't know if I need Spurs Play in my life.
Well, one second, I just want to bring up Tony's. Tony's. I think you commented on the video, Tony. I've seen you on the comments a few times, buddy. He's been a Spurs fan since 1971, and I started this season after Frank's side feeling great, but I have such disdain for Levy, not for the football reason, but for the financial. This is a man speaking my language from 71 to 79. I feel your pain, Tony. I mean, Eugene,
can I
go on? You go, Eugene.
Can I go on like a 1-minute rant and then
you can go on a 2-minute rant?
So, since the beginning, after Ange was sacked, we've heard Donna Callum stepping down. There's a change. Charrington is on the board. The investment is coming in. Levy stepping back. Like we were, everybody was gassed. All the ITKs were telling us things are different. And to be honest, when I woke up that morning and saw the release clause for Gibbs White, I felt like I woke up in a different dimension. I'm like, this is not possible. It's not happening. So obviously, as we will find out soon, something was off. People are saying we didn't meet all the criteria, but whatever. All I'm saying is with all the supposed change in investment and naming rights and Charrington and everything else and Vinay, just things are still look to be the same. Everybody around us is doing business, except Villa, Newcastle, perhaps. But even United, who are a shambles, they're doing business, and we'll do what we always do. As I told you, Brian, before, right? We'll wait until a few days left in the window, and we're gonna put in a meaningless bid like we did for Guehi and say, "Hey, we tried. We're gonna maybe get another kid or two." And maybe get somebody like Ramsey, an average player, and that's it, and we'll be done.
Can I go next?
Well, you can go. You can go. I'm
rambling, but go for it, Dietrich.
Wait, before you go, Dietrich. Before you go, there was just one comment I wanted to bring up because I haven't seen him in the close race. Shamu, all the way in New Zealand, buddy, and Spurs Arsenal is free there. So if you can't get Spurs play, fly over to New Zealand. You can watch the game for free. And you know what? Talking of rants, talking of something, I haven't been on a stream with this guy for ages. And if we're going to have rants and have passion and whatever, I'm going to bring on another Canadian. You're outnumbered, Eugene. Bring on a very...
Scott.
How did you guess? Here he is.
Scott and I have been agreeing too much, which is weird for me. So I don't know. Maybe it's a good time for me.
There's been a lot of people agreeing with Scott, or Scott's agreeing with people. Scott, how are you, buddy?
Doing well. Yeah, it's a new age, Brian. I told you it was a blank slate, and I think I ended that within 2 weeks of my blank slate with Johnson because I just couldn't handle it anymore with him. But Eugene and I are agreeing all over the place here. I'm not even angry that Dietrich is here. I don't know what's going on. The only thing that's going wrong is Spurs, of course, but that's for
all the miserable bastards are on.
Exactly. Well, Dietrich's wanted to go on his opening rant. Then I'll let Scott have a rant, and then we'll see what we can take from all 4 of our rants. Go on, Dietrich.
Okay, I'll say one thing. I've been a Spurs fan since 2013. And I've seen this club every time with new PR lies saying, "Oh, Levy's gonna step down. This is gonna happen. We're gonna get investment." I knew it was a lie from the beginning. When I saw Morgan Gibbs and Kudos on after 24 hours, I said something's not right.
Yep.
But then when I saw the Gibbs White is going to take forever, for me, I couldn't care less if we get Gibbs White or not. I think he's a good player, but doesn't stop the fact that we can still get business in other departments with other clubs. But like I said, Vinay is just a puppet. The other one is just a puppet. It's never going to change under this ownership, whether you like it or not. We won the Europa League. We're in the Champions League. I've always said, being in the Champions League, it's not going to get you the Champions League players, because I've seen our best transfer window in the recent times was when we didn't have Europe. And unfortunately, this is the case. It's the prime example. We have 5 weeks left, 2 weeks left to cup final versus Paris Saint-Germain. We're going to get absolutely battered yet again, and then by the players we don't need, like the Jacob Ramsey or the whatever the other names we're linked to.
Yep.
I'm sorry, after watching the Reading, the Luton, like, I'm not going to go like too deep on it, but I've seen the same mistakes that I've seen under Ange. I don't rate Ange. I never wanted Ange, but I'm seeing the same patterns. Players do not care. They do not fight. And you can tell something's not right. And I feel for Thomas Frank. He's going to struggle next game against Arsenal, Newcastle, Bayern, and PSG. And everyone's going to turn on him. That's the same. Rinse and repeat. I'm just going to say last thing. People, if you guys really want Thomas Frank, let it ride next season, and just blame one person, Levy, and that's it.
I've said that I've said it for a long time. You know what? With Thomas Frank in the Arsenal game and every other game, he's going to play a much stronger team. The teams get stronger now. Before I let Scott chime in, I happen to say, Adrian, we have at least 60 million for Gibbs White. Mate, we had 150 million to spend under Conte. We didn't even spend that. Whenever we have money, all of a sudden, when it comes to investing it in players, somehow the money goes missing. 150 million for any other team that want to strengthen and go for a league and have Conte on the manager. Don't spend don't use for 7 players. They use 150 million for 3 or 4, and they're the good ones. I just don't believe it. Whether there's 60 million there or not, I just don't believe we'll spend it wisely anymore. Scott, off you go, buddy.
Can I just say something quickly? And it's embarrassing we haven't sold anyone to.
Oh, mate, don't be stupid. Keeley for $1 million.
Yeah, that's the most embarrassing thing. We haven't sold anyone from the first team.
Left and right, Felix, and like all their trash, they're getting big money for it. We cannot even sell one player.
Well, we said that's because big teams set. Like I said, we're going to get, if we get, just to say this, and then Scott is the next person speaking. When we go for Harvey Elliott, I think he's a good player, but Liverpool want to get rid of him. Diaz is leaving because Liverpool want to get rid of him because they've spent money and they've upgraded. And now they're like, okay, you can go. We don't need you anymore. Thanks for your set. Off you go. And that's what we will go around buying the scraps of the Premier League teams, the players they don't want. Scott, chime in with whatever you want, whether it be the games, the ownership, just anything. Scott, off you go, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll actually be surprisingly a little bit maybe more of the positive one here. When you are talking about
look at this,
Elliott, and you're saying we're getting the scraps, I'm not going to use the word scraps, but yes, I think that's where we are, Brian. That's the level where we are now, where that might not be the ideal player we are, the player that we want, but we need to get him because he upgrades us to a certain level.
I agree.
The problem that we've had, why it's clearly for me not Frank's fault or changing the manager's fault. The problems we're running into now is from years and years of mismanagement, our transfer policy, right? Of buying in Solanke for 60 million and not wanting him as a starter. Buying Richie for 55 million, not wanting him as a starter. Spending 40 million on Gray and not having him being good enough to be a starter. Having again more like 30 million even for Odeberg, and he isn't a starter. How many guys can we list off that we're spending 30 plus million, 40 million, 50 million on, and these guys, we don't want them as starters? I think some people are happier about Solanke, but I think most people would say Solanke's good enough. He's not great, but he might be good enough. That's the best thing that you hear about Solanke. So I think what we need to realize is we've been so poor for so many years in the transfer business that Elliott, we might say, look, he's not good enough for Liverpool right now. But we need to get up to a level where we can start even competing. We're not even there. I don't think we can even think of competing with Liverpool at this moment. So I think that why I would take him, and Eugene and I had to talk about this earlier in the day, is I think he's an upgrade over what we have. And at some point we need to, a lot of like what we said with Frank too, he might not be the elite manager that we wanted, but we need to start getting some quality, some good. Frank is going to make us good. He's going to set us up. We're not going to have any silly errors. We're not going to lose games because both of our fullbacks are in the attacking box. Well, the ball's 10 guys are going down the other way attacking on us, right? And I think this is the same thing with like an Elliott with a Harvey Elliott, is that he might not be the elite player that takes us to the highest level, but he might take us up a level. And that's not perfect. And I know people are going to be surprised that I'm the one who usually says we need the best, we need ambition, we need to go for this. But I think when we're trying to fix so many problems that he might, that's why I would accept. I think he also, watching these games, I just don't see any creativity in our midfield. I don't see much creativity on our wings. And I think Harvey Elliott at least adds that aspect to it. Do I think there's better players out there? Yes. Would I like to get some better players? Yes. But I would be okay with it in the sense that I think we need to take one step up now before we can take that step up to get to the other top teams, because we've fallen so far behind them from where we were under Poch.
You're right. One second. Maybe let me just reword what I said. Maybe scraps was the wrong word to use. What I meant by it was when we went for Kudus, when we went for Gibbs White, they were players that they would try and keep at all costs. They are the heartbeat of our football club. They are like the star players, along with Bowen, obviously, West Ham. And we were going for them. We're going to go and rip them out. If we take a Harvey Elliott, it's because Liverpool now have said you're surplus to requirements for them, because they've elevated so much stronger. Yes, he upgrades us. Yes, he's a good player. But this is, if we'd gone for Harvey Elliott last year, Liverpool would have gone, no, that would have been the end of it. There wouldn't have been, no, we're coming and taking your... Look what Brentford did with Kelleher. Look what Brentford, they've just lost Flecken. They're like, we're going to... And I think Kelleher's one of the best goalies in the league, minus like the main big... I think he's sensational. They go in and get them. We just, the players that the clubs don't want, we get. We don't go to clubs that go, we'll take your best player. We don't go and do it. We just don't. Dietrich, what are you about to say, buddy?
I agree.
Yeah, I was about to reply to. Okay, I'll give you my reason why I don't want like players like Harvey Elliott. I think it's time for us to go get some like ready-made like players like in the mid 20s, like 25 and up. And I feel like having Harvey Elliott is like doing the same thing, buying young at an expensive premium price. And we're not getting like, let's just say like the player we need for Champions League, like week in, week out. I think we need to go get the players like, let's just say, I'm just using him as an example, like the Edersons of the world. Go get him. I don't want to be spending premiums on money on a player that barely played for Liverpool. And to be honest with you, is not going to take us from like a huge jump in the midfield. I think it's time for us to like move on from the youngsters and go buy some mid-20s, like players that can actually coach, let's just say like the Bergvals, the Grays, the young midfielders, the Nile John, like those type of midfielders. I don't want to see Harvey Elliott at the club.
I agree. Just one thing. So, Scott, your original premise is correct when you listed all the players that we've got. The issue right now with us is we do have depth. We have our squad is too deep. The issue is if you look at the market, if you want to get a starting caliber player, a good Champions League player, you have to spend 65, 70 million, right? 75. So instead of us doing what we always do, buying 2, 3, 4 players for combined 100 million, we need to go out and spend 75 on one player right now because we do have depth. If you look at the midfield, we have 5 midfielders. We have depth almost everywhere except up front, maybe, right? So
and fullbacks.
Elliott would just add to the squad. He's a squad option. We need a proven Champions League caliber 75 million pound or whatever euro player who would step in and be a starter day in and day out to be that guy. I don't want to see Mainus, Elliott's in the vacuum. Good players for us. We already have Bergvals, right? We have Tells. We have all these players for the future. We need a proven 25, 26-year-old
Right.
starter that's 75, 80 million, and we just don't do that. And the reason why we triggered Gibbs White's clause, probably because we thought it was a great deal, it was a bargain, and obviously something fell through the cracks. It didn't happen. But I'm afraid, again, we're going to sign two youngsters instead of taking that money and putting it into one really good player who we can get. And to Brian's point, there's a hierarchy in the league or in the world, right? Like Byron, when Byron says we want Kane, obviously Kane is going to go there. There is no reason why we cannot go to Brentford, Bournemouth, Forest, the teams below us, and take their best guys. There is no reason why we shouldn't do that. And we just don't. We always get players who other teams don't want. And that's the issue for me. There is no reason why we can just go to Brentford and say, here's the money for, your best player.
Well, you know why we do it, Eugene, as well? The reason we do it is you go spend £65 million on Solanke. And like I've said before, I like Solanke. And he needs to be more proactive. Scott's heard me say this a million times. I think with Kudus, with a Maddison, with what I was going to say with a Morgan Gibbs-White, with potentially a new left winger, if he stays in the box and gets service, he should do a lot better. But the reason we pay 65 million for him, you can say Premier League tags, you can say this, but compared to normal 65 million pound strikers, especially when you're trying to replace Harry Kane, he's cheap wages. Harvey Elliott, currently at Liverpool, is on 40 grand a week.
Yep.
We'll spend 40 million. We'll spend a big fee on a player. Why? Because it'll be low wages.
Shades of Archie Gray. Archie Gray. And how much money did we spend on finding Walker's the replacement for a decade?
I can tell you,
100 plus
we
million.
sold him for 50 million. We spent over 120 million trying to replace him.
We're doing the same with Kane, Richarlison, Solanke, all that money spent on those two. Like, we can just go player by player, just money wasted on quantity instead of quality. And right now, again, our squad is too deep. We cannot sell players. So we just, no more kids. I don't care how talented they are. Just no more kids. Give me a 27-year-old, 26-year-old.
I agree.
Before you go on, I've just got a question from Malware from the for the three Canadians here. Or I say three Canadians. What would you say? 2.5 Canadians, Scott? 2.5?
Just one. Dietrich's, he's such a fraud. He spends so much time traveling in Albania getting his hair plugs. I don't know if he's really considered Canadian anymore, but maybe.
Where are the Wildfire? Are they on the West Coast?
On the west.
Like they were last time, right? Vancouver and
They're
everything.
usually further up north. Northern Canada where that minimized. Not as many people. They're
always
further north,
controversial.
the more remote areas.
So, Malware, thanks for the concern. But yeah, it's nowhere near us. Thank the Lord. But everyone, I hope, if there is anyone watching over there, I hope you're all staying safe. Go on, Dietrich, you're about to say something.
No, I was just about to say, I'm a person that can have zero coaching badges, nothing in the professional game.
Yeah.
And I can actually find you better players on the cheap than what Spurs are doing right now. And the fact is, funny enough, when Newcastle bought Sandro Tonali, arguably a top 5 midfielder in the league.
Yep.
If we bought, let's just say we bought Harvey Elliott, Sandro Tonali was cheaper than Harvey Elliott. We were about to spend, or Jacob Ramsey. You see, that's called business.
Well, getting away from transfer very quickly, I want to have a discussion on this. We're not going for super duper long tonight, but we'll go around the table quickly. Johan Lange, who I honestly started praising beyond belief for Morgan Gibbs-White and finally keeping a big player quiet.
You're better than this, Brian.
No, honestly, mate, listen. Johan Lange, when it's come to the young players, has done it, but because any player he'd signed hadn't been a recognised star, it was hard to say when he moves quietly. And that Gibbs-White deal moved so quickly, so quietly, and I was like, okay, maybe he's operating on other people's money. If he gets that over the line under the radar, because no one knew about it, I was like, okay, here we go. But since this whole Saturday, since it broke down, the knives on social media, and I'm going to go to Scott first, have come out big time for Johan Lange. What's your feelings on him, Scott?
I've never really rated him just looking at the players that we're bringing in. You look at his time in Villa, and there's not a whole lot of positive talk about him. He might have brought in some decent players there, but most of the people seem to be fine with him leaving. And Monchi, or however, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, when they come in, they seem to have not dropped off anyways, whether they've improved or not. I'm sure Eugene and I could argue about that for days with Villa. But yeah, and I know we say, oh, he brings in the young players. I will say I haven't seen any young player that we've brought in that I'm like, wow. And that doesn't mean that I don't think Bergvall can be quality or Vucevic can't be quality, but I think that neither one has shown enough that I'm like, okay, this gives you credit in the bank with me that I'm going to keep you around. And the moves for the players that we have brought in under him that are not young, clearly not good enough. I think it's a major concern, but it's a major, but even more than Lang, and this is something where I'll get into a little bit about Harvey Elliott again. One of the reasons we're going for Harvey Elliott is because we don't seem to have a plan at all, and there's never seemed to be any plan, and that's not on him because it's been under Levy. But see, since he's been here, what plan is there? Like, even if your plan was we're going for Morgan Gibbs-White and it didn't work out for whatever reasons we'll find out, now there doesn't seem to be, and maybe they'll turn around and next week they'll get 3 players and it looks like a plan. But it sure seems like now we're kind of scrambling around and we're saying, oh, maybe Elliott because we hear that he's available. Maybe this, because there's no set plan ever at this club and no set plan under Lange where we could say, well, this is the kind of player we think he's going to go after, or this is what's going on. It just seems to be like always with Spurs is that we're reacting to what happens, and he's done nothing to change my perception at this club that he has a clue of what he's doing, that he has a clue of how to take us forward at all.
Yep, yeah, you raised good points. Dietrich, over to you, buddy.
I want to give him honestly, I want to give him the worst, like the other ones, the way I make fun of them. But can I actually blame him for what he's doing? Like, imagine working under the worst possible boss that doesn't let you do whatever you want, doesn't give you the resources, and doesn't give you the time to work with. And as much as yes, he is he is to blame, he is to do most of the stuff, but what can you do most? And honestly, when we had what's his name, Paratici, we complained that he needs to stop feed into the media the players we're linked with, and then we're gonna get let's say for example Luis Diaz when we were linked with him, and then Liverpool came in and bought him. Now he's working under the shadows. Everyone's complaining about it because we're not linked. There's not a new link every day. So which one do people want? And honestly, did he buy the right winger? Right winger, yes. He bought Gibbs-White's a good player, yes. He bought some good cheap options like Bergvall, from the lower leagues. He's doing his job, but can we get better? Yes, but under Levy, nothing the transfers are not going to change. It's always going to be rinse and repeat. Youngsters, high money, low wages. So he's doing his best, and to be honest with you, I'm not going to blame him for anything.
You know what this is? Actually, I agree a bit with Dietrich. I think the issue is bigger than Lange per se. First, we don't know what the directive is, right, as far as the wages and how much he can spend. But secondly, I feel like our scouting network is terrible, and that goes way before Lange. It doesn't seem like we can unearth all the good players in other leagues. We bring in some, trash from France, and then Vincent Janssen. It's all these players, and you think if we had a good scouting network, how much money we could have saved. And even if you look at Paratici, all his transfers were from Italy, and he knows Italy. But if you look at the rest of the world, I don't know if we have enough scouts everywhere else who are there actually scouting players. So I think it's the system is broken. It's not on Lange or even one specific person. It's the network that's broken.
There we go. Well, guys, listen, I'm almost falling asleep, so I'm going to wrap it up there because we're back at 9 a.m. tomorrow, Toronto time, for me and Ben. Then I am with We Are Tottenham TV all week because Simeon is going to Korea or South Korea. So I was looking forward to this. A couple of days ago, I was looking forward to Tottenham. We Are Tottenham TV all week. So I thought it would be bubbly, happy. Yes. But we'll see what happens. But we will be back. Scott M, thanks for being on, buddy. Stay in the back end, you three, anyway. D-Triggs, I'm happy you made your debut. Eugene, always a pleasure, brother. Everyone in the chat, have a wonderful evening. Whoever has watched the video, it's over 3,000. What's it up to now, if I have a check? Oh, no, it's coming up to 2,500 views. Hopefully that'll get to 3 in the morning. If you haven't watched my rant from this morning, please do. You won't be sorry. It's not a massive Daigle shouting and screaming one. It's a passionate one. It's a heartfelt one. Everyone in the chat, have a great evening.
Get this man to 10K. Let's go.
Help get us to 10K, and everyone knows what's coming. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, Levy out.